right. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. And Chief Cabe, look like I see Executive Director Rutledge. I see Director Gum. Certainly see Commissioner Washington. I believe we have Commissioner Williams on board with us as well. I think we are ready to rock and roll. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us this Tuesday morning. It is now 10 a.m. and we are calling the virtual Rockdale County Board of Commissioners meeting to order this morning. Today is Tuesday, March the 1st. Can you believe it? Already the month of March. Today is March 1st. So we want to say welcome to our virtual edition of the Board of Commissioners meeting. And Chief Cabe, I think we're going to start off with special recognition and presentation. Take it away.
Sir, good morning, Mr. Chairman and Madam Commissioners. It gives me great pleasure to recognize Purchasing Month as designated by the National Institute of Governmental Purchasing. Each year, the Board of Commissioners has an opportunity to recognize the hard work and dedication of our finance department's procurement and purchasing division. Led by Executive Director Mark Lewis, our Chief Financial Officer, along with Purchasing and Procurement Manager Tina Malone, our team works very diligently and meticulously to ensure Rockdale County maintains adherence to local, state, and federal guidelines as it relates to procurement and purchasing. It's with great pleasure on behalf of the board that I read this proclamation that recognizes our finance department professionals. And it states, whereas public procurement plays a significant role in the efficiency and effectiveness of both government and business, and whereas procurement professionals add value to organizations through their day-to-day operations of purchasing goods and services, managing contracts, and enhancing procurement strategies, and whereas procurement professionals nationwide influence U.S. economic conditions with their accumulative purchasing power, running into billions of dollars, and whereas the procurement division of finance in Rockdale County is committed to providing high caliber, strategic, logistical, and operational support of all departments within Rockdale County government, and whereas Rockdale County's procurement division recognizes, supports, and practices the public procurement values and guiding principles established by the National Institute of Governmental Purchasing, NIGP, as fundamental tenets of the public procurement profession, and whereas NIGP has proclaimed the month of March as Purchasing Month to recognize purchasing professionals and inform the public about the important role they play in business, industry, and government. Now, therefore, the members of the Board of Commissioners of Rockdale County do hereby proclaim the month of March 2022 as Purchasing Month in Rockdale County and invite all citizens to join in recognizing the role of purchasing and materials management profession within business, industry, and government. In witness whereof, the commissioners have hereunto set their hands and caused the official seal of Rockdale County to be affixed on this first day of March 2022. Mr. Chairman and Madam Commissioners, please join me in a round of applause for our finance department professionals.
Outstanding, outstanding. Thank you, Chief Cabe, and thank you to Executive Director Mark Lewis, our CFO, and certainly our procurement manager and her wonderful team, Ms. Tina Malone. I tell you, they are always rocking and rolling in the procurement office as we have so many agreements and contracts that have to be signed and processed through their office to make sure that we're getting the work done on behalf of the citizens of Rockdale County. So I really appreciate the work they've done. And let me just take a moment to say, commissioners, over the last couple of years, as you all know, through this pandemic, economic development has been on a rise here in Rockdale County. Commissioner Washington, you've highlighted economic development, and so have you, Commissioner Williams, about the tremendous work that has taken place both in our industrial and manufacturing section, but also in residential and retail here in Rockdale County. And all of those documents have had to be processed through our purchasing and procurement office. So we certainly do appreciate the fine work of Ms. Tina Malone and her staff. I don't want to get into trying to call names of the staff because I mess up and leave somebody out, but thank you so much. We salute you. Keep up the good work as we continue to rock and roll and move forward here in Rockdale County. Chief, You read that with a lot of power and authority. We certainly do appreciate you reading that proclamation this morning. Commissioners, it's time to move forward. I think Executive Director Relich, it's time for the agenda review. Is that right?
It is. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We will start out under the regular agenda for March 8th, item 89, which is with Viewpoint Health through the Superior Court. This is for behavioral health services, change order number 1 to contract 2021-171. It's to add housing case management services. It's an additional $37,120. And the term is January 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2022. And this is grant funded.
This is really a big deal to be able to do this, because we know that people coming out of the court system or out of incarceration, many of them don't have some place to live. And this grant will be so helpful in locating places and being able to assist in housing that's appropriate.
Right. Thank you. Anything else on that item? Okay. Item 90 is with the Bureau of Justice to the Sheriff's Office. This is for Justice and Mental Health Collaboration Program grant in the amount of $550,000. The term is October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2024.
And let me just say, this is also a big deal, a really big deal, to work with those that are incarcerated who have mental health issues, which we know is a good percentage of the population. And when you couple that with those with substance abuse, it's a really big percentage of the population. So as I was reading through that grant information, this is just gonna, it just increases the work that we're doing in Rockdale County to not only protect our citizens, but protect our law enforcement, the public, our public safety people. It's just a good deal all the way around.
Absolutely. Thank you. Item 91 is with Endemia Identity and Security with the Sheriff's Office. This is for the maintenance agreement for sex offender live scan fingerprint machine in the amount of $3,840. The term is March 1st through 2022 through February 28, 2023. Item 92 is also with Endemia Identity and Security through the Sheriff's Office. This is the maintenance agreement for the jail live scan fingerprint machine in the amount of $6,725. The term is March 1st, 2022 through February 28, 2023. Item 93 is with the Georgia Association of Chiefs of Police through the Sheriff's Office. This is for the State of Georgia Law Enforcement Certification Program. It's $375 per year for 3 years. Item 94 is with the United States Department of the Interior through the United States Geological Survey. This is for Stormwater Management Department for the hydrologic monitoring in the amount of $33,600 and is for 12 months. Item 95 is with RDI Corporation with the Rockdale County EMA and Animal Services for the purchase of software record storage is cloud-based for records management system in the amount of $8,930. This is 1 year with renewals and it's host funded. Item 96 is with Rose Brush LLC through the Rockdale County EMA and Animal Services Division. This is for software for records management system in the amount of $7,395. It's for 1 year with annual renewals, and this is host funded. Item 97 is with Academy Limited, doing business as Sports Outdoors. This is for Parks and Recreation Department. This is a sponsorship agreement with the benefits of the county in the amount of $5,000 revenue for the value sponsorship, and it's for 1 year.
Yeah, this one is really great. This will, I'm guessing that this will benefit our youth who are participating in our sports programs. Is that right?
So we have Director Redmond.
Good morning, everyone, Chairman. Good morning, Madam Commissioners. Yes, Commissioner Williams, this is for the target audience for this sponsorship is really softball and baseball program. It offers a $2,000 cash donation to the county, as well as a $2,000 Academy gift card donation to the county, or sponsorship to the county. That comes along with 10 baseball coaches packages and 10 softball packages as well.
That's great.
Great, thank you. Item 98 is with Standard Office Systems, also known as SOS, for the Technology Services Department. This is for the lease and maintenance contract. It's change order number 10 to contract 2018-77. This is to add copier for fire training annex in the amount of $14,397.25. For the lease is 19 months and $1,710 for the maintenance for 19 months. Item 99 is with the Lake Capri Homeowners Association Incorporated through the Transportation Department. This is for the right-of-way entry to access and work within private property. This is for the Rock Bridge Road Bridge Replacement Project.
Can we have an update on that project that's been lingering for several years now?
Yes, we have Director Kelly.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. So this project, we just got underway with bidders. So we had some bidders that came out, looked at the project, and they're giving us some feedback now. So that's currently in process. We have currently spoken with the community, giving them an update on where we're at so they understand where we're at with the bid process as well. And we are working to get a CE&I group involved to help us monitor that project as it moves forward. So the bridge design is complete, and most of that road design to accompany that, the transition into that bridge is complete. And then we are finalizing the details to get that project moved forward. I expect that project to be about a 6-month project. Expected to move pretty quickly, and we will have Deputy Brown acting as our project manager to protect our interest on that project.
Thank you.
So we think it will be complete by the end of the year?
Definitely.
Right.
Can I ask a question about bridges in general, Chair?
Go right ahead, Commissioner.
Yes.
So as we are moving through this project, it's occurred to me that, you know, most of our bridges in Rockdale County were probably built around about the same time with around about the same amount of resources. And I would like to see kind of a map on how we can make sure that this doesn't happen again throughout the county. And I want to also say it's not just Rockdale County. I was talking to a friend of mine who is a commissioner in Henry County, and they had a bridge collapse and a school bus had just gone across the bridge. And but for God, that would have been, you know, a harrowing experience. And so now we're kind of put on notice that our infrastructure is old, depleted. And I think that we need to come up with a strategy on how we make sure that all of our bridges are in a condition that traffic can safely travel over them. So that's something I would like to see, is kind of a plan on assessing these bridges to see if we need to shore them up or whatever before they collapse.
Well, Commissioner, let me just tell you, you must have read our minds, because a part of the 120-day forecast for our Department of Transportation, Director Kelly actually already has that on his things to do list to do a complete assessment of all of our bridges in Rockdale County. And it's not limited to the bridges. We've got a couple of other major crossings throughout the county that he's tasked with giving that to us. So I'm expecting by the time we get to July 1st, he should have that preliminary piece already ready to submit to myself and the BOC. But you were thinking, we went through, and I like what Commissioner Williams said. It was really, I could hear the exhaustion in her voice. We've gone that bridge been out at Rock Bridge Road for quite some time.
Right.
My question for you, Dr. Kelly, is, and I know you've just gotten on board, just give me, you met with the community out at Lake Capri. When was that meeting? Was it 2 weeks ago, a week ago, or how soon back since you've been on board when you did give them an update?
Well, they received the update, I believe, last week.
Okay.
We did have our team go out there along with Director Gum. So we did get some good feedback from them.
The communication is the key. I'm going to say, as you continue to progress and move forward, we were all waiting for a new director to get in place so we can pick this project back up and get it moving. And I appreciate the traction I'm hearing from Director Kelly about design and engineering. So communication is the key, Director Kelly. Let's continue to work with community relations, public relations, and your department with the folks out at Lake Capri. They are ready for some updates and some answers. More importantly, we all are ready for that bridge to be back up. Commissioner Williams, I was driving through there a couple of weeks ago, and I just totally forgot. I totally forgot the bridge was out, and I had to make that awful detour. It seemed like all the way around the world just to get to where I was going. And so we share the pain to some degree. We don't live in Lake Capri, so we don't share it to the same equal level to the residents, but we are ready for this bridge to be replaced, not repaired, but replaced. And I really appreciate the work that Director Kelly is doing and the time and attention. Director Kelly, keep in mind, communication is the key as we go forward. And you and I will be talking more about making sure we have that preliminary assessment for July 1st, as Commissioner Washington has referenced, doing an assessment of all of our bridges throughout Rockdale. We don't have a ton of bridges, but we do have a few, and we want to make sure that we're not repeating the same incident which we've experienced over at Lake Capri.
And I also like the fact that we are replacing instead of repairing, because that gives us more security and it also gives us more longevity. If you repair, be like my truck. I repaired one thing and had to put it in the back in the shop because something else went down. So I like the fact that we're replacing it.
Yes, ma'am. And I think my understanding, this will be at minimum a 50-year replacement. And that really is what is needed.
Right.
And that's forward thinking in Rockdale County when you talk about a 50-year replacement. Thank you so much. Commissioner Williams, anything else on this one?
No, thank you.
All right, Director Rutledge.
All right, thank you. Item 100 is with Bagwell Fence Company Incorporated. This is to the Transportation Department for guardrail maintenance. It's a unit price contract with the estimated amount of $75,000 a year. It's 1 year with option to renew 4 additional 1-year periods. Item 101 is with Atlas Technical Consultants Llc through the Transportation Department. This is for the Courtesy Parkway right-of-way acquisition. It's change order number 2 to contract 2017-36. It's to add specialty reports. It's an additional $83,732, and this is SPLOST funded. Item 102 is with the Association County Commissioners of Georgia, also known as ACCG. This is to rescind a contract through talent management. It was agenda item 2021-655 for the defined benefit plan for the Rockdale County Employees Adoption Agreement, Amendment 2. The next 3 will also go along with the same topic. So item 103 is also with ACCG, and to rescind a contract through talent management. It was agenda item 2021-656. It was a resolution for defined benefit plan for Rockdale County Employees Adoption Agreement Amendment 2. The next 2 will replace what is asking to be rescinded. So item 104 is with ACCG Retirement Services through the Department of Talent Management, is for the defined benefit retirement contribution amendment number 2 and is submitted as a ratification. Item 105 is also with ACCG Retirement services through the Department of Talent Management is the defined benefit retirement contributions amendment number 2 and will be submitted for ratification.
I think this is a real opportunity for our employees. The fact that the retirement percentage has changed. And this is an opportunity for them to go back and purchase that extra funding now that will benefit them in retirement. It's kind of like when I was teaching, I had several years I had taught in Florida before I came here, and I was able to buy back the retirement benefits from those 4 years that added on to my benefits now. So, you know, it's no cost to the county. It's a benefit to the employees. And I'm sure there'll be some who want to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Next item is item 106 for Place Services Incorporated through the Water Resources Department. This is for the Gees Mill Water Treatment Plant Maintenance Building, change order number 1 to contract 2021-91. This is for an additional 220 days to term. The new completion date will be October 26, 2022, and this is SPLOST funded. Item 107 is with Rochester and Associates LLC through the Water Resources Department. This is the Courtesy Road Extension Surveying Services in the amount of $71,555. This is for 6 to 8 weeks from the date of notice to proceed is actually received. Item 108 is a requisition with the Sheriff's Office for flock safety. This is for flock cameras in the amount of $16,500, and this is grant funded. Item 109 is a requisition for the Technology Services Department through Zoho Corporations. It's the annual subscription fee to manage Engine in the amount of $15,500. The term is March 20th, 2022 through March 19th, 2023. Item 110 is a requisition through the Technology Services Department. This is for DICES Solutions Incorporated for the Cisco Umbrella Security Subscription Essentials Renewal. The term is May 1st, 2022 through April 30th, 2023. The amount is $47,991.72. Item 111 is a requisition for the Technology Service Department through SHE. This is for Proof Point for Targeted Attack Protection and Support Renewal for 2022 in the amount of $24,344.32. Item 112 is a requisition through the General Services Department through Southeastern Surfaces and Equipment. This is for new flooring, logo, and pads at the JP Carr Gym in the amount of $90,457, and this is SPLOST funded.
So when I looked at that, I thought, why are we putting a new floor in there? We just redid that building not too many years ago. But as I was reading it, I went, oh, that's why. Because they assume there's lead and asbestos in the current flooring. And so rather than taking it up, they can just cover it up.
Mm. Mm.
Right. Item 113 is a requisition through the General Services Department for Security Pro USA. This is for ballistic glass partitions in the amount of $47,450, and this is host funds.
And where are those ballistic glass partitions going?
Good morning. So those are going, actually, this was part of the capital process from last year. And Judge Munford, as well as the Sheriff's Office, they all had requested the ballistic shields. So they'll be at each entrance of the courthouse on Main Street and Milstead Ave. And then there also will be installed at the entrance to Magistrate and Probate Court on the back entrance.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Item 114 is a requisition through the Stormwater Management Department for Carasoft Technology Corporation. This is for project management software in the amount of $16,855.90. Item 115 is with the DeKalb County Revenue and License Administration through the Water Resources Department. This is for sewage treatment for December 2021 in the amount of $71,595.09. Item 116 is with the City of Conyers through the Old Town Events and Rockdale County. This is Rockdale County's portion of the Red, White, and Boom event in the amount of $26,350.
Director Rutledge, I just wanted to jump in on this one because commissioners, we've already received some inquiries from folks. Everybody is excited about the direction of this pandemic, and they definitely want to see the Red, White, and Boom come back. And it's an excellent project between the City of Conyers and Rockdale County as a whole. So this one is certainly one that we're anticipating as we move toward the summer and the 4th of July holiday weekend. And yes, as read by Executive Director Rutledge, it will be back. So I just wanted to put that out there. Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 117 is a request for surplus of equipment through the Emergency Management Department, the Tax Assessor's Department, the Sheriff's Office, the General Services Department, Technology Services Department, and the Public Relations Department.
Some of that stuff looked really bad.
We want to get as much use as we can out of it, so.
Oh my gosh, some of those chairs were in terrible shape. I thought, I hope somebody hasn't been using those lately.
We probably have.
They probably have, but they're really bad.
Well, you know, commissioners, we try to be the best stewards of the taxpayers' dollar. So we try to get our bang for our buck and get the ROI. And I mean, we really try to get every drop of the juice out of the lemon. So I'm sure it was in bad shape, but it's going to be surplus. It's surplus enough for somebody else to use it, but you can bet your bottom dollar when Rockdale County gets through with it, it's pretty well done.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, just they were a mess.
But I think that's a testament to our employees, though, the fact that they will use something until it's almost no longer viable, and that's why another reason why we need to, talk about the importance of the government facility, because our employees deserve better than that. They work too hard. I'm done.
Thank you. Anything else on the surplus?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, we're almost there, y'all. Item 118 is a future land use case 2022-02, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County as amended by redesignating the future land use category of 1900 Dogwood Drive Southeast and 0 Old Covington Highway from light industrial to high density residential, to impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances, and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a second reading next Tuesday. Item 119 is rezoning case 2022-03, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County as amended by rezoning 1141 Old Salem Road Southeast from M1 to C2, to impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances, and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a second reading next Tuesday. Item 120 is rezoning case 2022-04, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County as amended by rezoning 1900 Dogwood Drive Southeast and 0 Old Covington Highway from M1 to RM, to impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances, and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a second reading next Tuesday. Item 121 is future land use case 2022-01, an ordinance to amend the future land use map of Rockdale County's comprehensive plan as amended so as to redesignate property located at 1362, 1390, and 0 Rockbridge Road Northwest from the low-density residential future land use category to the light industrial future land use category, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a second reading next Tuesday. Item 122 is rezoning case 2022-01, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County as amended by rezoning 1362, 1390, and 0 Rockbridge Road Northwest from R1 and R3 to M1, to impose conditions upon the property to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a second reading next Tuesday. Item 123 is rezoning case 2022-02, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County as amended by rezoning 2721 Turner Road Southwest from R1 and CRS and a portion of 2905 Turner Road Southwest from R1 and commercial to CRS, to impose conditions upon the property to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a second reading next Tuesday.
Can we go back up to 2022-122?
Okay.
I thought that is that the one that they removed from the from our the planning and zoning meeting?
So only the Board of Commissioners can vote to remove items. So next Tuesday, you can make that vote to remove this item or however you choose to vote, but not during the zoning public hearings.
Okay, so procedurally though, if we vote this down on Tuesday or up or down on
Right.
Tuesday, what would happen if, so say we took a vote on Tuesday and we passed it, then they wouldn't have to go back through the rezoning, or if we did not pass it, would they be allowed to go back through rezoning?
So
That
next
would be the-
Tuesday, the Board of Commissioners will have the opportunity to either vote to approve this, vote to approve it with conditions, vote to deny it, or vote to send it back through the public hearing process. So you have a few options.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anything else on these?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. Item 124 is rezoning case 2021-19, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County as amended by rezoning 0 Gees Mill Road Northeast from R1 to M1 to impose conditions upon the property to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a second reading next Tuesday. Item 125 is rezoning case 2021-20, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County as amended by rezoning 2966 and 0 Flat Shoals Road Southwest from AR to R1 to impose conditions upon the property to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a second reading next Tuesday. And item 126 is rezoning case 2021-16, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County as amended by rezoning 2709 Denard Road Northeast from AR to R1 to impose conditions upon the property to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a second reading next Tuesday. And I believe that brings us down to public comment. And Director Gum, Chief Cave, do we have anybody signed up today?
Oh, there are no people signed up for public comment.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Executive Director Relich. We are going to move right into board comments at this time, and we'll start with Commissioner Washington.
Commissioner Washington, part one. Good morning again. You know, even though we haven't been together on a Zoom call or in person for a while, it seems like we all three of us have been working very, very, very hard for this county, most notably in NACO a couple of weeks ago when we went. I love going to conferences, not only because we learn so much and we had the opportunity to see the President of the United States. Chairman, I don't know if you recall when he walked in and he pointed right at us sitting there, just acknowledging that Rockdale County was in the house. But you're muted.
And I have a picture of that.
Right.
Hey, there's
Right.
pictures, so.
Commissioner Washington, not only were we in the house, he pointed at us as if he knew who we were.
Exactly.
Sitting right there on the front row. We were sitting right there, dead center front row. So if he was faking it, it sure made us feel good.
Exactly. He knows what he's doing. What a difference. I like to give tremendous kudos to Larry Johnson, because that was a great conference, a lot of great information. But one of the most important things that came out of NACO to me was all of the things that we're doing that they say that we should be doing. The attention to mental health and mental health awareness, and just from every facet of our life, from the criminal justice system to the school system, to the elderly, just that. So we have to pay great homage to Dr. Williams for all of her leadership in the realm of mental health. She has been in the forefront of this for a very, very long time, and it came shining through at the NACO conference, because they did pay a lot of there's all kinds of information and such an emphasis on mental health. So thank you, Dr. Williams, for all of your work. I did get to present this year at NACO. That was a highlight. And once again, they were asking for, I sit on the Justice and Public Policy Committee, and they asked me to share innovations that we were doing for criminal justice reform with ARPA funding. Well, everything that we're doing with our ARPA funds with criminal justice is at the behest of, so she really should have been giving the, sitting on the panel, but I made it work as well as I could. And I think it was well received. I had a lot of kudos for that. So I really wanted to highlight how much we get out of NACO conferences. And, it's good to see that Rockdale County is doing a lot of the right things. Now, the other big thing is they're paying such a big attention to the infrastructure bill has just come out, all of the federal funding. And I think this is a time that we should ask the citizens to start calling their congressmen and their senators, so that Rockdale County, so that the people that they've elected can pay a whole lot of attention to Rockdale County when it starts funding. It can't just be us and our lobbyists. It has to be this, letting them know that they're watching what kind of money that we receive. So I would like to make that ploy also. Another place that we've been very hard on, of course, is economic development. And one of the things that I received, well, I had a meeting with not just the school, one of the school board members, Dr. Oates, and the mayor, the chair of the Economic Development Council, Kretzy, and the chair of the Development Authority. One of the things that we want to start doing is having more of a symbiotic relationship with all of the entities, because like I told them, more than any other county, there's one Rockdale, there's one city, one county, one school system, and we all need to be working together so that we could all prosper together. One of the things that I've done recently was take there's the picture. One of the things that I've done recently was take a tour of RCA. And if you ever want to see where your taxpayer dollars go, and that's RCA is just one of the programs in the Rockdale County school system. I challenge anybody to take a tour of the Career Academy and not feel as if they're getting their money's worth. There is a tremendous venture, tremendous talent, tremendous enthusiasm that goes on there. But when we had the meeting with all of us, Dr. Oates started telling us all of the great things that the school system is going. And I told him, you know what, I don't think that enough people know all of these accolades. So one of the things that I want to do is start trying to highlight some of the accolades of the school system while we have a little bit of time, or I have a little bit of time. And the first one, I got a notification yesterday that we had 22 Rockdale County students. Hold on, I want to make sure I get it right. It was 22 Rockdale County students who National Honor Society list. And I think that that is absolutely wonderful. And I want to start highlighting more of the achievements of the school system, because here's the deal, we hear all of the negative, but there's not a lot of people that are highlighting the positive things that are going on in the school. We hear about all the fights, but as Dr. Oates said, we hear about the 10%. There are 90% of Rockdale County students that never get a disciplinary referral, never. But we focus on the 10%. And of course, we want to make sure our schools are safe, but we need to also start in the works of that 90% that is in the school system that is towing the road. Because, you know, you can have 10 100s, but you get that 1 0 and your whole grade plummets. So, and I think that a lot of that is what's happening with our school systems. So I'm going to make it an effort to start highlighting the great achievements of our school system. I think that's all I have. Of course, Dr. Williams tells me something that that I forgot. Oh, I do remember that it is Women's History Month. Next week, I will start my accolades for women's history. That's it.
Well, Commissioner Washington, I really like how you coined it in the beginning, Commissioner Washington Part 1. So standing by for Part 2. So please stand by. Commissioner Williams.
Well, let me just say there would not be a Commissioner Williams Part 1 if there hadn't been a Commissioner Washington Part 1. Because I was thinking, I just don't have any comments, and now I have a whole half a page of all kinds of things to talk about. So it kind of follows the list of things that Commissioner Washington in that order of what she was talking about. So going to NACO was awesome for a number of reasons. One, it's like you learn so much, and it's so good to hear what other people are doing. But you know, over the years, you begin to develop relationships with people across the country. Mm-hmm. And so it was really good in terms of our work with the diversion center. Although Marilyn Brown is not a commissioner in Franklin County, Ohio anymore, her replacement and their county manager was there, and I had a chance to talk to them, and the county manager within just a few minutes sent us a whole outline of how they developed their diversion center and what to look for. And I thought, that's just, you know, how would you know about to talk to them, other than the fact that I had developed a relationship over the years with Commissioner Brown. So that's always impressive to me. Another thing is that Nastasha Walsh with NACO, she's on the NACO staff, is over the Stepping Up initiative. And I actually had a chance to talk to her several times during the conference. But one of the times that I talked to her, I was sharing with her a little bit about what we did. And she said, oh, yes. She says, I have a meeting, a phone call with Brenda. And she just used Brenda's first name, but she was talking about Brenda Ernest in a couple weeks. And then I'm going to speak at your next steering committee meeting. And so here we are again, those relationships, you're able to, we've got somebody at the national level coming to our next steering committee meeting to talk to us about the things that we're doing and tell us, share ideas of what's being done other places. The other conversation I had with her was about our input, our outreach into the jail, and telling her that Bill Carruthers was managing that, and he was our program developer. She said, oh yeah, I know Bill Carruthers. He was with National NAMI, right? I said, yes. So, there was all these connections that Rockdale is on the radar of people at the national level. And I think that's important to know. I have been a member of the Health Steering Committee for years, since I was first elected. And the gist of the legislation that used to be covered to now has shifted to almost exclusively mental health issues and priorities. And again, the jail inmate exclusion policy came up again, which is where even before someone is adjudicated, if they're booked into jail, they lose their federal benefits. And they have not been found guilty or innocent. And we, in our country, you're presumed innocent until found guilty. And so that is still on the radar of trying to be worked through in Congress to get that changed. In the meantime, they're trying to get a small step forward to change it so that 30 days before the inmate is released, they can access their federal benefits, so that there's a smooth transition as they're returning to the community, which is just a small step. But the other piece is huge, and it's really huge for counties, because that means we foot that bill. We are paying for all of those health related issues that inmates come in with, when they could have access to their federal benefits. That would save us a lot of money. So that is something that they are constantly talking about and working on. Yesterday, I had a meeting at the jail with Captain Pass and Captain Hooks and Major Johnson and Lieutenant Camp. And Bill and I were there, and we talked through the process of embedding a mental health clinician in our sheriff's department, which is, the city has done it very successfully. In fact, the city has now hired their second clinician, which was surprising to Major Johnson, because he said when he worked in DeKalb, they didn't have that many per capita, but that's what the need is. The city of Conyers has about 16,000 population, and they had so much need for a mental health clinician with their law enforcement that they now have a second clinician. And so the county is getting started on that, and in that same trajectory, and that's going to make a really big difference. That also should be a big cost saving benefit, because what the city has found out, and others, and there were lots of conversation about this at NACO too, is that many of the issues that come up regarding mental health can be solved in the community without ever having to, sometimes without even having to involve law enforcement. But when law enforcement and the clinician are there, they can resolve it in such a way that there is no need to take them to jail or any place else. They can get them the services that are needed. That's a big deal. And that was talked a lot about at NACO also, because communities that are doing that and have diversion centers are really seeing a lot of good things come out of that. As far as the economic development, as at the last business mixer that I was at, that Commissioner Washington hosts every month, which I have to say, they are well attended every single time. And I think people benefit from, it's like any time, they benefit from that networking, from meeting new people, but they also have speakers. And so they're able to get new information and things that are helpful. But one of the speakers talked about how he had been incarcerated for quite a long time. And now he's a local pastor, a very well-respected local pastor. And I think people need to see how mental health services and recovery services and economic development mesh together. That you cannot separate one from the other. And then the last point with the schools, you know, as I have thought over the years about all of the options that students in Rockdale County have, there's a performing arts program, arts and visual arts, theatric arts, all kinds of things over at Heritage High School. There's STEM programs, there's the science and technology magnet school. There's just so many options, not just at the high school level, but sometimes at the elementary level, and definitely at the middle school level. Starting at middle school, students have huge choices. I wish that those choices had been available when my kids were going through school. And the Career Academy is just phenomenal. So there's lots of good things happening in Rockdale schools, and I keep saying that to people over and over again. And I think we just need to keep saying it over and over again, because people need to know how good the schools are and the programs being offered and the commitment of the teachers, because that ties in with economic development too. And you know, attracting residents who come here for the school system. We hear so often, oh, I would never move to Rockdale, the schools are terrible. You know, they really don't know what they're talking about, because they really have not investigated what there is. So thank you, Commissioner Washington, for your part one, so I could do my part one.
Well, those part ones are duly noted. And with that being said, I'm going back to Commissioner Washington for her part two.
My part two, part 2.1. We are having the small business mixer again next month. This month. This is already the first. So we are next week, the second Tuesday of every month from 6 to 9 at the Reserve on Highway 138. It's right next to Hobby Lobby. And so yes, please come. If you have a small business, bring your business cards. You know, I saw one of these things at Office Depot. You can put your a little tag on your phone and have the business card in. So if you're that technologically savvy, which I am not, you can bring that. But please come. We want to highlight your business. We want to get you involved with it's not an organization, but we just wanted to get you involved so that you can promote your business. I know personally, I have used at least 3 people that I have met at the Small Business Mixers. And one of them is KJ's piano teacher. I met her at the Small Business Mixer. So please come, not today, but a week from today, to the Small Business Mixer. Now, I did want to be accurate on my announcement about the school systems. It's 14 Rockdale County students were named 2022 Governor's Honors Program semifinalists. And I do want to give them out because a teacher has to nominate them and go through the process of nominating them. So we have Jayana Burdette. She's with science and biology. Ms. Jones nominated Helen Shapar, world languages, Spanish. Nishio is her teacher. Brooklyn Compton, visual arts, Asbury. Trenton Fullergram, mathematics, Hornbeck. Angel Gomez, social studies, Denison. Camille Hall, visual arts, Thickley, I'm probably butchering that name. Kayla Highlands, science and biology. Jones, Williams, mathematics, Hornbeck. Emily Miller, music, voice, treble. Green. Addison Mullins, visual arts, Asbury. Isabel Power, science, chemistry. And Brianna Roach, dance, Springs. Catherine Stoltz, world language, Spanish, Stokes. And Maxwell Zong, mathematics, Garner. So this is the Governor's Honors Program, the 4-week residential summer program for gifted and talented high school students who will be rising juniors and seniors during the program. And it offers instructions that significantly differ from the high school classroom. It's designed to provide students with academic, cultural, and social enrichment necessary to become the next generation of global critical thinkers, innovators, and leaders. So a huge congratulations to the 14 students that were named semi-finalists in this great endeavor. Okay, that's it.
All right, Commissioner Washington, very good, very good. I gotta go back to Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Williams, did you have a part 2?
Okay, the only part 2 I have is that we're going to be grandparents again, and this makes a baker's dozen.
Yay!
Well, congratulations to you. Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to move forward now, commissioners. I want to go to Chief Cabe. He has a couple of updates that he wants to bring us and just bring us up to speed on a few things. Chief Cabe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of things, Madam Commissioners, Mr. Chairman. First and foremost, to extend on to Commissioner Washington and also Commissioner Williams' comments, in particular, Commissioner Washington. Our PR department will be working with Commissioner Washington on her initiative, reaching out to the school system and showcasing some of those highlights in the weeks and the months to come with Commissioner Washington's initiative. But I'd also like to emphasize and provide the commissioners with an update in reference to the Big Six meeting that takes place quarterly with our chairman, our mayor, city manager, superintendent, chairman or chairwoman North, and also myself. We had that meeting last week and got some very good updates from the school system and also from the city of Conyers. Rather than going through the entire list, one highlight that I would like to make everyone on this call aware of is the school system has partnered with Georgia Military College. And in that partnership, they will bring college courses to Main Street at the corner of Main Street and Rosser in the old headquarters building of the public school system. As everyone knows, they've moved over to Pine Street in their new facility at the old Pine Street Elementary School. But Georgia Military College had a representative. It was General Donahue, who was present talking about the partnership between Rockdale County Public Schools and Georgia Military College. And it's a wonderful asset to our community. They will actually start classes on August 15th of this year. There's current renovations that are taking place on Main Street where they will hold classes. There will be 28 two-year associate programs offered at this branch here in Rockdale County. And also there will be additional 6 Bachelor of Applied Science degrees that our citizens will be able to take advantage of. So we'll be able to just go right around the corner and attend college courses due to the partnership between Rockdale County Public Schools and the Military College. And one of the questions that I asked during this meeting, when you hear the name Georgia Military College, there's a military connotation that goes with that. You would think that maybe you have to be regimented and wear a uniform and maybe do certain things in an organized fashion. Well, they do expect you to be organized, but you don't have to be in the military. You don't have to be preparing to go into the military. The courses are offered to citizens that merely want to get an associate's or a bachelor's degree. So I would encourage any of our citizens that may be interested in this, including high school students looking for dual enrollment opportunities, to go to the Georgia Military College website and examine the different programs that they are going to be offering. Rockdale County is not listed on their website right now because of the fact that obviously it's not built yet, but it is forthcoming, and there will be a great opportunity to just go right around the corner and attend college courses and get a college degree from a facility here in Rockdale County. So that's very, very exciting news.
That's a really, really big deal. And I know the school has been working on that for several years to get that partnership cemented and started. So that's another big deal for economic development. Is that, we know that we've been turned down a number of years ago for a really big company to come here because we didn't have college level access to college level degrees and classes. So it gave me goosebumps when you said they're starting in August.
Yes, ma'am. We were very excited to hear all of the work. Georgia Military College has been in existence since the late 1800s. And of course, they have expanded beyond their main headquarters to all over the metro Atlanta area. They have locations in Fairburn, all around metro Atlanta. I won't name them all, but it's exciting to know that they have chosen Rockdale County as their next branch. And I even spoke up during the meeting and said, when I graduated from Rockdale High School almost 25 years ago, I would have taken advantage of this opportunity had it been available back then. But yes, absolutely, it's a fantastic asset to our community. And we certainly do thank the Rockdale County Public Schools for their partnership with the college. It's definitely an asset.
My brother started his collegiate career at Georgia Military College. He has his associate's degree there. And you all know my brother is pretty big deal as a United States diplomat. So you can go anywhere from there.
That's wonderful. Commissioners, Mr. Chairman, Madam Commissioners, the additional update that I have today is for the Chairman's Initiative, the War on Litter campaign that will take place right now, weather permitting. It will take place on Friday, March 11th. This is an event where we are not asking for the citizen support at this point. This is an initiative where we are merely making it known publicly that the employees of Rockdale County, along with the employees of the city of Conyers, are collaborating and partnering to, there's one goal: to clean up the community. We have all seen various eyesores around the community, various issues that are consistent problems. And essentially, to give you the condensed version, we will have an event on this day from sunrise to sunset. Sunrise on that day is at 6:51 a.m. Sunset is at 6:41 p.m. Staff will be out for approximately 12 hours on this date. We have approximately 80 Rockdale County employees and approximately 70 City of Conyers employees for a total of around 150 people that will occupy not only sheriff's vehicles, City of Conyers Police Department vehicles, obviously sheriff's deputies and police officers, but Rockdale Fire is participating in this event along with all of the other staff. There will be blue lights, red lights, and amber lights from the far north end of Rockdale County, from the Rockdale-Gwinnett County line, all the way down to the far south end of the county at the Henry County-Rockdale County line. And the goal is to light up the community on this day and to focus as much attention on as many roadways as possible within Rockdale County. The chairman has organized the county into 6 different zones. And in each zone, there will be a department director that is assigned to oversee the operations and management of the activities going on in each department. There's approximately 10 to 15, sometimes 20 volunteers per zone, and they will be divided up into subzones and focus attention on those areas. Trash will be collected, large items that have been discarded on the shoulder of the roadway. You know, everybody sees mattresses, sofas, tires, things along those lines. We will collect all of that. We will keep track of the items that have been collected throughout the entire day. And the hope is to have a big impact on this day. But then, as the chairman alluded to earlier, it doesn't just stop there. We have this event taking place on this day, but then the chairman has worked with our Department of Talent Management, along with our Department of Transportation and our Planning and Development Department, to focus attention in those 6 zones moving forward, to have the same people patrolling those zones, those litter zones on a regular basis, so that hopefully it makes an impact throughout the year and not just on certain days to do a cleanup event. So we're very excited about this. The goal, we're going to have every vehicle that has amber lights deployed here in Rockdale. We've had approximately 4 meetings so far in the planning phase. The City of Conyers, just spoke with them yesterday, and they have their employees isolated to 15 main arteries inside the city limits of Conyers on this day, where they are going to focus attention as well. So pretty much anywhere you go on Friday, March 11th, weather permitting, you should see either blue lights, red lights, or amber lights somewhere, because that is the sign and signal that people are cleaning up the community. So we're very excited about the War on Litter campaign. And just since I've mentioned it, there is a 50% chance of thunderstorms right now. A decision will be made by next Tuesday as to whether or not we will continue with the March 11th event, or if we will use our rain date, which would be the following Friday, which is Friday, March 18th. So if we should have inclement weather and the meteorologists are still predicting thunderstorms, we obviously want to err on the side of good judgment and be safe. So we will move the date to Friday, March 18th, if the chairman so designates.
Thank you, Chief Cave. And let me just say on that piece, come hell or high water, rain or shine, we're going to clean up Rockdale County. If it rains that day and thunderstorms, that's okay. The sun comes out every time after the rain, and we'll make sure we have us a rain date. We'll get out there. I'm just really proud of the fact that Rockdale County has partnered up with this joint project with the City of Conyers, and Chief Cave is our commander on the ground. He's leading the organizational management with our team, and this is going to be a big, big day. So if we get rained out, commissioners, on the 11th of March, that's okay. We will come back because we're going to clean up this county. I know, like you all have noticed throughout this pandemic over the last couple of years, it seems to be an awful lot more litter and debris and trash all over the county. It's not stopping there, as he already mentioned. I won't be redundant and repeat all of it, but I'll tell you that going forward, breaking our teams up into the 6 zones will allow us to patrol and police the debris on a daily basis, so we don't have so much to have to go back and clean up. So we're really super excited about that. Thank you, Chief, for that update. I also want to echo the sentiments of Commissioner Washington and Commissioner Williams as it relates to our relationship with the Rockdale County Public School System. Chief is so right. The Big 6 meeting takes place on a quarterly basis. a lot of the same information that Commissioner Washington shared about our positive relationship and promoting the positive things that are happening here in our local school system. Dr. Oates and the school board does a fantastic job bringing academic excellence here in Rockdale County. We've got to do a better job getting that information out to the parents and to all of those people who are thinking about setting up shop and relocating here in Rockdale County. We've committed to making sure that we do our part to help spread the good news about quality education in Rockdale County. And as Commissioner Williams pointed out, when people are thinking about relocating, economic development and quality of life, education, quality education is at the top of the list for those parents who have school-age children. So we're proud of our school system. There's always room for improvement, but you just take one little ounce of not so good news and people just amplify it and they really blow it way out of proportion. I just want to say that we're in partnership with the school board and we're going to continue, Commissioner Washington, to report and highlight the very positive things that are happening here in Rockdale. I stand with Dr. Oates and the school board, and we're going to make sure that we're shoulder to shoulder putting out good news about what our over 16,000 young people are doing in a positive direction here in Rockdale County. I want to move on and stay on track with what we have this morning. Both of the commissioners talked about the excitement of NACO, and let me tell you, this conference this year, Commissioner Washington and Commissioner Wisher, really seemed a lot busier. It was a lot more engaged, and I give hats off to the Honorable Commissioner Larry Johnston, who serves as the national president of the Association of County Commissioners on the national level. We had a very robust conference this year around. One of the things that I constantly heard during our time in DC was how impressed other counties were with the fact that we brought our actual key staff. Because as you know, Commissioner Williams, you mentioned building relationships and building networking opportunities and having the people who actually put their hand to the plow to be a part of those conferences where they can network, pick up the information, and make sure that we're staying on the cutting edge of what's happening all across the nation. Rockdale was well represented. Everybody was highly engaged. And it also gave us, through the leadership of our executive director, Jennifer Rutledge, because she is the director of legislative affairs. Every time we go to a conference, we're going on the wings of our legislative affairs director because that's her job. And she was able to organize several meetings with our federal lobbyists, Ms. Patty Daly, and she also organized an opportunity for us to have a roundtable about what we were experiencing during the conference. So thank you, Executive Director Jennifer Rutledge, always on top of it at the national level and the state level, as well as the local level. So NACO this year was really good, and it was really good to expose our staff to opportunities to build relationships and for more networking opportunities. This was a busy, busy conference. I also want to shift just a little bit and talk about, first of all, I want to say thank you. I want to slow down and say thank you to Director Joe Gum, Ms. Melissa Mims from Community Relations, and all of those folks who had a part, commissioners, in highlighting this year's Black History Month in Rockdale County. And I just tell you, those 3 nights in the Rockdale County Auditorium, we had well over 300 people in attendance between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It was a well-attended event. It was well engaged. All of the participants was really on point as we went through this Black church experience. We also featured 3 clips each week that highlighted a video presentation of the Black church experience. Then Director Gum and his team, they found a way to do a bonus feature featuring one of our local pastors. If you would at this time, Director Gum, would you show that piece? Because I'm not sure that the commissioners have seen that one. This is a bonus clip that you've added, and I think it's very instrumental to wrapping up what we did last month for Black History Month. We'll show that piece at this time.
anyone were to ever question, why would the Ku Klux Klan burn crosses in front of the church? You've got to do deductive reasoning and ask, why did the Klan never burn crosses outside of black barbershops? Why did they not do it outside of black nightclubs? Why did they not do it outside of black restaurants? They burned crosses outside of our churches because they knew that the church was the incubator for resistance. It was the compass for change. It was the direction for the prophetic mantle. And it was the organizing station for those who were oppressed to rise again. The model of the black church was never to be an entertainment center, but a directive compass and an epicenter of where change would come. As a consequence, the world's greatest singers have come out of the black church. The world's greatest orators have come out of the black church. The world's greatest movements have come out of the black church. It's our responsibility, therefore, to make sure that the black church never becomes a museum, but always maintains a movement. Thank you for honoring, recognizing, and saluting the black church.
Commissioners, thank you both for coming out all 3 nights, and a big round of applause again to Director Gum and the public relations team, Ms. Mims, and community relations. We had so many employees who volunteered to be a part of this event. It was a well-received event from so many people in our community. It was a success. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of the participants. And we are getting geared already for a different celebration as we honor Black History for 2023 and moving forward. I do want to say, as we wrap up this meeting this morning, that one of the things that as we work toward this war on litter, I do want to mention that one more time. No, we will not be going into anyone's front yard or backyard or side of the house. They're going to have to clean up and police their own backyard and their own property. We will be focusing, Commissioner Washington and Commissioner Williams, on the right-of-ways, on our streets, our roadways, and we'll be focusing on those areas that people are just moving up and down the highways, littering with trash and debris. We're encouraging folks, if you want to leave something out for us to pick it up that day and that day only, we will take some things and be picking them up. The city already does that on a regular basis for those residents that live in the city, but we're going to do a unique thing. And if, again, Chief Cade will keep you posted and abreast as to the weather conditions. If we get inclement weather on March 11th, it's okay. We have a rain date in place and we'll be moving forward with that rain date as we move forward. We've got a very robust schedule and calendar this year, commissioners. We've already gotten a head start on budget plan 2023. A lot of moving parts here in the county. And I want to say thank you to both of you all because the level of communication has been increased, and the inclusion that we talked about during our retreat last year is well into play. And I thank Chief Cade, all of our executive director, Ms. Lisa Chester, Ms. Deidre Golston, so many people are playing a part in making sure that the Board of Commissioners are not only in concert, but the inclusion is active and it's alive on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes I think we're probably inundating you all with a lot of information, but it's what you asked for. And I think it is creating such a smooth flight in terms of how we're moving and navigating through this year. So I appreciate both of you all, and I certainly do appreciate our staff for keeping the communication up and alive and well as we move throughout 2022. We got a lot more work ahead of us, a lot of work to do. We have busy calendars this year and a lot of moving parts, but this communication is second to none and is key and essential to our success as we continue to move forward. I'm going to yield. It looks like Commissioner Washington had something she wanted to say. Commissioner, go right ahead.
I was just going to say that I noticed 2 things. You talked about the retreat and how beneficial it was. That was something that was talked about at NACO, the importance of us communicating and doing things like retreats, so that we can be on the same page. And then secondly, I did see another county in the Metro Atlanta area that just had their retreat. So I think we're on the right track, and I concur that communication is much, much better this year after our retreat. So I'm looking forward to the next one.
Commissioner Williams?
Well, I was going to say, I think the things we learned about ourselves and about each other was phenomenal and eye-opening to me. I saw myself in a different way, and I've tried to address some of those weaker areas.
Oh, wow. You're supposed to do that? Oh.
But I think it has helped a lot with communication, but it made a big impact on me, not only with the county, but personally as well.
Well, commissioners, both of you all are definitely pouring on the serve. And today is National Pancake Day. We appreciate what you're doing, and we certainly, again, appreciate the staff. I want to yield at this point to Executive Director Jennifer Rutledge. Director Rutledge, are there any announcements regarding our upcoming meetings or any things in particular that we need to know?
So we do have virtual meetings scheduled for the month of March, and we will be meeting on next Tuesday, March 8th, 10 a.m. for a voting session. And then on Tuesday, the 15th, we will meet at 6 p.m. for the evening work session. The following Tuesday, the 22nd, will be 10 a.m. for the voting session. And then March 24th, which is a Thursday, 6 p.m., is our zoning public hearing. There are 5 Tuesdays in the month of March, so we will not meet on March 29th.
All right, very good. Director Gum, you're sitting on the edge of your seat, and you've got that look on your face like you've got something you want to share with the general public and the BOC. What do you have?
Well, we're just busy in the PR department. Thank you, Chairman and Madam Commissioners. What a great session this was, with tons of information. And I know a lot of people like you, Chairman, you want to thank you to those who contact you after we released the date of the cleanup with the combination of the city and the county on March 11th. A lot of people out there want to get involved. Of course, we had to tell them, listen, we appreciate you wanting to come out with us. Nearly 100 volunteers with the employees combined. But unfortunately, we're just going to do this on our own. But you can, we remind people, you can be a part of it in your neighborhood, in your area, in your neighborhoods. Post those photos, send them to public relations, do whatever you can, even before March 11th and after March 11th. We're thrilled to death that we can capture video and photos of our entire team in the city of Conyers as well, in the Sheriff's Department, in the city of Conyers Police Department as well. Everyone who's going to be out that day and incorporate something big time. This will be very important to set an example for the citizens as well, because a lot of times, Chairman, and you know this, you send your phone number out for people to text and call you. A lot of people don't do that, but you do, and you hear from the people. We need to see from example. So this is it. You guys, the BOC has set the example for us to go out that day and be a part of it. So we want to thank you for those who chimed in on our social media to say, hey, I want to be involved. But it's our part to lead, and they can follow in their own neighborhoods. So
and I appreciate that, Director Gum. We implemented See Something, Say Something back in 2017, and for the most part, it really does work. What I like for people to do is use those camera phones to take pictures of folks littering up our community and report those violators is what we've got to do, because that's where the rubber meets the road. Well, because the moment Mr. Brown and his team goes out and cleans something up, the next day or two, Commissioner Williams, is right back out there because somebody has been negligent and they've thrown debris or they've not done what they need to do in terms of properly disposing the garbage. So the See Something, Say Something line is always active. That phone number is active, as well as the email address. You can take pictures. You can contact the sheriff's office or the city police department when you see a violating. Littering is still a crime. You can receive a citation for littering. So, and in some counties, let me just say this, commissioners, in some counties, they have a dedicated team of code enforcement that has the authority to sort through debris and trash. When they find your name, number, and address and tons of your mail, they're going to contact you to find out why was your mail, and a good amount of it was located on a road that's 2 miles away from your house, thrown over in the woods. So that's the next step in terms of what we're trying to do. We've got to be serious about this war on litter. I am frustrated driving through Rockdale County and seeing the amount of debris and trash through this county. That impacts economic development on a day-to-day basis, and we've got to get it done. I will give this last report, commissioners. We've had a tremendous amount of feedback from the governor's office, Georgia Department of Transportation, as it relates to that awful fence out on I-20. We're engaged. Our Director of Transportation, Director Kelly, is taking the lead. He's working in concert with Executive Director Rutledge in terms of this fencing project on I-20 that's running both eastbound and westbound. So I am really pleased with the amount of feedback from the governor's office, as well as the Georgia Department of Transportation. The actual commissioner was on a conference call with me and Executive Director Rutledge and Director Kelly just last week. And we're getting some traction, and we're looking forward to seeing something change in terms of replacing that fence and finding the funds so we can do that. It's one thing to clean up the county. As people are moving east and westbound on I-20, we want to make sure that we give the best representation of Rockdale County. Executive Director Rutledge, is there any need for executive session this morning?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the virtual episode of this Board of Commissioners meeting here on the first day of March 2022. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. This meeting is adjourned.